Hello, 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 and welcome to Angels Don't Lie. This week, we are going to talk all about how to live in your truth and connect with spirit. So I think this is probably one of the biggest topics that is misleading for people. They believe, what I've come to see from talking with people, is that most people believe that the gift I have of talking to spirit is really limited to just people like me who have the visual, who actually can communicate openly with the departed. But the truth is, each and every single living soul has been hardwired to connect with spirit. We have been given this gift through just being born, through our body and our connections and the energy centers. So today we're going to kind of dive into that. We're going to have a little fun chatting that up, and I'm going to share some things that you can do right away to feel that connection with spirit. And I will remind you that if you are ready to take your journey further, I have great opportunities for you to do so. One being, you and I can sit down, whether Skype or in person, and have a reading. What will a reading do for you? It can transition your life into a more positive, a more loving, a more joy-filled experience. We lose our path in our way because of the stressors, because of the life events, because of trauma and pain. And spirit will bring us gently back into the focus of the things that are meant for our well-being. The added benefit is the guidance from your loved ones, the support team on the other side that we don't always see. Do we feel them? Sometimes people do, and sometimes they deny that they do because they are just unsure. Again, today we're going to talk about this. We're going to demystify it, and I'm going to give you some practical tips so that you can have that experience at home. The other way that you can get in touch or really align with your highest and best good is becoming a goddess member. Right on my website, jeanniestreet.com, there's a little tab at the top right corner, and it says Goddess Membership. Click on that tab and find out all the ways that I can help and support you each and every month. There are live classes, there are tutorials that are set up as master classes, all to help you step into your greatest self. All right, let's get busy now. So when we are with the divine, before we come into this life, we are perfect beings of light. Every single soul is born with that God light within them. And so it's when we come into our life that we experience our families, that we experience the people that we are first introduced to. Now, this is a very loving and nurturing place for most of us. We also will experience the things that those people have already gone through in their life. That means any fears, any traumas, any events that have set their life in motion into a certain path, those are the things that will become the conditioning and lead us to where we are now. Helps form our judgments and our opinions, helps to shape who we are. And either, we can walk away from our family, but we'll still innately have some of their teachings within us. And we might take those and become better in what we see in them. We might want to expand and be different because maybe we feel that's not the right path. And this is how growth happens. This is how also healing happens, because when we walk away from the opinion of it and go from the compassion of it, we can really make some great changes and teach others, even the people that caused the pain, to change their life as well. All right, so there you are. You're born, you're perfect. That's great, right? Perfect. What do I do with that, Jeannie? People say, what do I do? So what? I was born perfect, but I'm not now. I'm broken. I'm in this pain. I'm uncomfortable. Life is hard. And it's true. Life is hard. And we get sidetracked and derailed over and time again. And people and experiences will happen to push us into that brink of uncomfortableness. But, here's the thing that the angels have always shown me. And I love to live from this perspective that we can live in a place of abundance or in a place of lack. We get to choose. We get to choose whether this hard time, this experience, maybe you've lost a job, is a really hard, sucky thing. Or we can take a look at it and say, wow, this is a great experience that I get to do something new. And maybe I get to find a job that serves me rather than not. So we can always take and look at the brighter side of a situation if we so choose. That's how we follow love. But it's when we get stuck in the negative pattern and always feeling lack that more lack comes to us. And I'll tell you, here's the energy, and we're going to get deeper into this. Our energy is reflective in our outward world of what our energy is in our internal world. So if we're feeling lack, if we're feeling despair, if we're feeling angry or lonely or where's my abundance, and questioning, well, then it can't come to us. Then our outer world is going to reflect that energy. So you're an energy being. I'm an energy being. We feel energy and we also emit energy outwards. So again, because what you feel internally, it comes out of your cells, out of your being, and creates an energy system around your being. So what does this mean? People that can see colors or sense energy around people, this is how they're sensing it, because you're feeling the energy or seeing the energy of that person's internal system. And colors mean something, right? So if we talk about, I see white around a person and I see light colors are purple. These are heavenly, high, holy colors that we will see around people. If we see a muddy color, something that's really kind of muddied up, whether it, green muddy or red kind of ruddy looking, this tells you that that person's energy is off in a certain area of their life. So this is basic chakra 101, guys. So we talk about the energy system within your being, and we talk that we each have, I'll call them the chakra system because this is the most widely used terminology. Each of us has 7 main chakras that live within our being that vibrate and connect us to the divine. They're not meant for just fun. These are centers that are meant to connect to heaven, to connect to God, so He may guide us and speak with us and send us love. And what happens throughout our life and our experiences are these centers get blocked, they get closed, they get stuck, where they don't vibrate normally, where they don't vibrate in a healthy manner. That's where the color will come from. That's where the muddiness or the shakiness can come out of that energy center and omit that outward to create the chaos in the aura. So if you're finding yourself in a situation where you're not grounded, where you're moving from one thing to another and you're very confused and you can't make up your mind, and maybe you're carrying some anger and your legs are bothering your knees or your hips and your lower back is affected, well, we'll look at that energy center. We'll look at that root center, the base of your spine. That's the first energy center, and we'll connect that back to the divine. That's what a healer will do. They'll help you to be in alignment with God, with Spirit, so that you can heal those wounds. And we all have wounds, guys, right? You're not the only one. I'm not the only one. The people next door, they have stuff going on. The guy down the street, the old teacher, your parents, everybody has something going on that's reflective of their pain. And if we have compassion, if we have an understanding that we can be kind, we can be generous with our love, we might actually make a difference in somebody's life. We might actually change the energy within our own body by doing so. Interesting, correct? So if your root is off and you're unsettled and you're running from thing to thing and you can't accomplish one project, if you were able to meditate and create space within that root center and call love in and ask Archangel Michael to connect you to the divine, you might find yourself in a place of being able to be of service, to be gentle, to let go of the anger, and in turn, be very giving, and in turn, be very free of judgment, both of self and for others. Does this make sense? So Spirit, like I said, will come and speak to us. God will speak to us through our senses and align us to the highest vibration of love, to the most joy that we can ever experience. So if we want to have an experience with love, if we want to have an experience with a departed loved one, we might want to take a look at our energy system and really go through each chakra, clear it up, balance it, forgive what we must, and then call on that divine love to guide us to have that experience with our loved one. Now, we can definitely have the experience without cleaning up our chakras. We can definitely have that experience anytime we want. But listen, guys, the truth is I want you to have the best experience. I want you to actually succeed in your first try of connecting. And I want you to be like, yes, there it is. I know this is my loved one. No doubt. I feel it. I know it. And I'm so excited. The problem is when we are a hot mess, when our energy is a hot mess, we can't really connect on the highest level. We won't have the best experience. We won't have it. So, and I want you to have that for yourself. I want you to have that love fill you because it's the grooviest. It's the thing that heals anything that's broken within us. So if you want to study your chakra system, head on over to Goddess University. There's great tutorials, and it explains how to go through opening each one so that you can connect. It's a brilliant thing. Really, really, really is. Like I said, we are energy. That means our loved ones who have departed, they're energetic beings. They don't have the physical anymore, but they are still 100% energy. So we can feel them. We can feel them. That's where we get like the goosies. We get those goosebump feelings. We get the heightened energy. We know this feels good or it doesn't. You might sense colors. You might have that, oh, that doesn't feel comfortable. When our chakras are really open, we don't doubt our intuition. We don't doubt it. We understand it. And that's where we listen from. That's where we feel from. That's where we hear from. So you see, our senses, they are guided by our energy system. And it's through our senses that we have the experience with spirit. So it's not just one thing that we have to do. We have to be really heightenedly aware of what our senses are telling us. Does that make sense? Pretty cool, right? So our loved ones that are in heaven, they're having an experience without the physical. They're 100% energy. So they're vibrating at a much higher rate than we are here. And in order to meet spirit, to have that full experience, it's best if we raise our vibration so we can get there, right? So when a medium is connecting, we raise our vibration in order to go to heaven, and we ask spirit to come and meet us kind of in the middle, kind of in a midway point. And that's where we have the full-on conversations. That's where we have the experience where we can explain and articulate what your loved one wants you to know. That's where the validation comes in. And listen, we all want to experience love, right? We want to be validated for our pain. Nobody has time to feel bad or to feel lonely or to feel as if they're the only one isolated and stuck. But I can tell you how many people I know right at this moment who are feeling that. I can look around and pretty much pick out almost everybody that I know is in pain of some sort. And so being able to validate our own pain is so important, right? I have a couple of friends who are great. They're easy. They can validate their pain. They move through things. And then I have my other friends who don't have an easy time, who really struggle, who are seemingly stuck in the same kind of energy time and time again, and they can't seem to get out from underneath it. It's painful to watch. It's painful on the outside, so I can't even imagine how painful it is on the inside and living in it. So what can you do if you're having that experience of, I'm feeling good, but people around me aren't? What can you do to help them? The problem is we can't make somebody learn what they aren't ready to learn, right? What their experience is right now is their experience. What we can do is we can be very confident in love. We can clean up our energy system and send them love, right? So when we are open that heart center and we fill with the divine, or we're really flowing like unbelievable, we can send them love and surround them and keep them lifted and ask for more light to come to them. Ask for the burdens to be released. That's where our prayer has merit and volume. And that's where we have the superpowers. It's when we get stuck here on the physical realm of doing things, all right, we get the do-gooder, where we get messed up because we can't take away somebody else's experience. It's not meant for us to do that. So when you see somebody that's having an experience that you feel uncomfortable with or you want to help them with, go on to your meditation pillow. Go find a quiet spot. Go sit in a church or go lean up against a tree and open that heart center. Call in love and send it to them. And just ask them to have the most easeful experience, and that love provides the help that they need. Now, is that to say that you're not supposed to volunteer or reach out or lend a hand? Not at all. Of course you are. Of course you're supposed to help and share your love with other people because that's what groovy love is. But when somebody says no, that means no. When somebody says, I'm okay, or I must do it myself, we must listen to that, right? Because it's not our experience, it's not our healing journey, it's theirs. Okay, enough about that. Now let's get back to the thing that you can do today to connect with spirit, to really feel your loved one. So I want you to do me a little favor. I want you to get yourself very comfortable in your chair or a seated position. So I'm going to combine my words here. So your spine is straight. So you want an upright position, or if you're lying down, at least so your spine is long and straight. So you're going to start with the cycle breathing, where you're breathing in through your nose and slowly exhaling out of your mouth. And you know, guys, I talk about this all the time. When you're breathing in, add the count. Can you count to 5? Can you count to 10? Bring that breath in as deep as you can and exhale to the same count. So as you're doing that breath, I want you to bring your awareness right underneath your rib cage. This is called the solar plexus chakra. This is where your gut intuition, that gut feeling, it's the truth center. And so we're going to breathe into the truth center, and we're going to just expand it with each and every breath. When you're inhaling, it's going to feel open. And when you're exhaling, it's going to feel even brighter. I want you to call on love. I want you to call on God, higher power, whatever you call love. And I want you to ask for that center to become very open and very bright and filled with expansiveness of the divine. And as you're breathing, I want you just to feel that become even brighter and even shinier. Now, as your hand is on your solar plexus and you're breathing in, I want you to bring your awareness to the crown of your head. And at the crown of your head, this is where spirit falls in. It's just this beautiful, effortless energy that becomes one with ours. And as we open that crown chakra, we're opening up to the heavens. We're opening up to this unlimited amount of space of love. And as you breathe in this time, I want you to bring your awareness so you're almost floating above your being. So you're just like hovering over yourself. You feel fully connected, tethered almost right to your solar plexus, right to that space we first opened. And so it's safe, and you're with the divine, and you're completely protected with God as you're floating upwards. And just feel free to go as high as you need. And now, I want you to call on your loved one or an angel, one that you feel closest to, somebody that you really want to have this conversation with. And I want you to have this openness that they're coming to you. I want you to feel the energy of this being of love and light. And as you're calling on them, I want you to notice just exactly how your skin is feeling and your hair. And I want you to breathe in. And I want you to notice what you see and what you feel internally. And notice it's not always about words as much as it is a sensation. Stay here as long as you need. Go ahead and pause this recording. And when you're ready, I want you to breathe in and become fully aware of your body again. Almost like you're floating back down, becoming fully in your body, fully present of the space that you're in. And as you open your eyes, I want you to grab a pen and your journal or any paper that you can, and I just want you to write down each and every detail of the experience that you just had. And I don't want you to discount anything. I want you to really just let it all flow out. I want to call this the Nancy Drew effect. So you're Nancy Drewing it. You're getting all the details out of the experience. Beautiful. And listen, guys, you can come back here and you can do this time and time again. That's the groovy thing. You can have this experience and it will be new each and every single time. The more you do it, the more open you will be, and the more the divine will be present in your life. There you go. Well, listen, I thank you so much for tuning in. I do want to apologize for the shows being short and kind of off balance lately, not coming up on the same day as always. I have had a ton of crazy energy going on with the move out of my studio into my new office. So please be patient. Everything should be back to normal by the 1st of June. And I thank you for your patience and I thank you for your support. Beautiful. Well, you know what I know because angels don't lie. Have a blessed day.